Hello everyone. My name is Brian Amanya and I'm the founder and CEO at Tubayo. Tubayo is an online travel marketplace for users to easily discover great experiences, fun trips, and book unique accommodation spaces around the country. Tubayo has two types of customers. The first one is the guest or the traveler. This is the person who books the listed fun activities and unique accommodation spaces on the platform. And the second type of customer is the supply side, who are the hosts. These provide the listings, they provide the fun experiences and the unique accommodation spaces, which range anywhere from a private room in their house or a complete home. We started in 2018. The idea was to do an internet business, which I had been inspired by the stories of people like Jack Ma, Elon Musk, who had created great impact in their communities. These are people who were serving hundreds of millions of customers, and I remember saying to myself, I need to be part of such impact. If I could create a product that could serve the whole of Africa, the whole of the whole world, I think that would be cool. And I remember looking through the trends on how fast these sectors were growing, and travel was the fastest growing sector, growing at more than 100%. When we decided to focus on the travel industry and noticed the three challenges that were mainly limited selection, so users didn't have options of variety to pick from, and then two was the pricey trips. The few activities that were online were pricey, so the ordinary Ugandan could not afford. And then three, it was so hard to make a booking, so you had to travel to either the agent's office or do a lot of back and forth. So if you wanted to plan a trip to like northern Uganda, either you had to go to Google, go through over 20 websites, or you disturb a friend of, hey, recommend to me something to do in northern Uganda. What I'm most proud of really has been the growth of my belief and faith in God, because the entrepreneurial journey is a hard one. So we are excited to build this into a much bigger global platform, and also to do inspiring missions like trips to Mars. And so what I see in 5 years is we'll be actively participating in space exploration, Mars exploration, and also we'll be the #1 global travel marketplace, enabling easy travel for everyone in the world.
Come on, studio audience. Hey! Did you hear that introduction? Welcome to Business Garage. Yes, this is the place where we bring you stories of business people, kingdom business people, big dreamers, people who have done something, who are not just dreaming, but have started moving very close to that dream. And so every single week here at Worship Harvest, from 7:30 a.m. on Sunday, we bring you these incredible stories. Hasn't it been amazing these last many months? We've had so many stories. And actually, please share the link, share the link, share the link, share the link. Tell your friends to. This one is different. You already heard. The man wants to plan trips to Mars, and he's not joking about it. We don't bring you people who are just talking talk. It's for real. But I just want to say right now that today, this is the last of its kind until the next season. Starting next Sunday, we are going to have Apostle Mose coming on to teach in the month of May. I have had a look at some of the content. If you're a business person, you have a business person you care about, he's literally bringing his secrets of business coaching here to Business Garage to share with all of you. So business people, tune in. Starting next Sunday, we will be having Apostle Mose teaching every single Sunday, and so get your friends to know about it. But also, today is a special one. It's the last of a season, and I'm glad about the guests that we have to sort of take us into the end of a season before we begin the next season of stories. So today we bring you the story of Brian na Amanya. Get ready to just expand your mind. Don't roll your eyes. Just believe. I'm telling you, some of you already are from the intro, you're like, Mars. Hi, what's wrong with your unbelief? Have many people gone to Mars? Is he going to be the first one? He's just going to take you to what? to Mars for a trip. You don't have to, you know, to be in certain places in space agencies. So help me make welcome Mr. Brian Amanya, the CEO, yeah, and founder of Tubayo. Tubayo. Hey, Tubayo, Brian, welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Anyway, so just that intro video is so exciting because you're so serious about these things. You,
oh, yeah.
as the video is playing, you are whispering, yeah, I already have a customer.
Oh yeah, I should book. There are limited slots.
There are limited slots.
Yeah.
They have to be. All right, so Brian, thank you so much for saying yes to being a part of Business Garage. And I'm going to start by asking you the basic question, which is, just tell us a little bit about yourself. What did you study in school? You know, sometimes we attach what we do to maybe school. What did you study? And the beginnings of your journey, sort of a glimpse into maybe the whole idea of business. Like, where did that begin for you?
All right, my name is Brian Amanya. I'm the founder and CEO at Tubayo. Tubayo is a travel marketplace for Africa. Users of Tubayo can easily discover great experiences and unique homes around the country. To give you a background of how it all started, with school, I went to Entebbe Education Center, primary school, and then entire school for my O-level.
Hey, Bweranyanji, this is my OB.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, so entire school O-level, then King's College Budo for A-level, and then Makerere University for Development Economics.
Development Economics.
Yeah.
So what was the dream at that point? What did you think you would end up doing?
Then I don't know, but I was just like so aligned. So I was just waiting for what's the next instruction. Do I apply for Bank of Uganda? You know? Mm-hmm. Yeah, mine was just be very aligned, be principled, you'll wait for the next instruction.
Wow.
So it was probably a job or something.
Yeah, or something.
Yeah.
So then what happens? When do you start to, before we get into Tubayo, what are some of the, take us into your journey of beginning to have a sort of drawing towards business or an idea that maybe business is a good idea?
All right, so my parents have been in business. My dad was doing printing and contract tenders, and it started while at Budo to do a social banner for guys. So because my dad was doing printing, I noticed if I could tell my dad to print this, yeah, so we did that, and I made off a margin, and that was it. I'm like, I think I need to make more of these margins. So
yeah.
I started helping out dad while serving this school market the friends that I had. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Then what happens?
Yeah, so from there, but it wasn't like a business. Later I found out it's just contracting business. So I got so passionate into that because I was an artist. I started to learn how to design. So I self-taught myself, Illustrator, Photoshop, all those programs. Yeah, so, but because it wasn't a business, I had to create my own business in branding to cater for that. So I created Play Media to just play around with things. Yeah, so that was to now serve my customers.
Who are your friends?
Who were my friends and hoping to get the big brands. And then it started to feel empty because it was so easy for me. I used to use the trick of benchmarking. So if I found like a boutique or a deco company, mostly NASA, they would just like do things. But for me, I would look for what's the best deco company in the world. I look at its brand, then I come here, I just tweak things a little with your colors, whatever, and then it pulls off something great. The client is so happy, and then they pay you 50K. And then I've done a lot of work for you. Your brand now looks great. So I noticed my people are not appreciating it much.
Yes.
Yeah. And so while at university, I had this crazy friend of mine called Don. He introduced me to Instagram, but by showing me motivation pages. You know, he would be like, you can make it, those motivation pages back then in 2016. Yeah, but because of my branding, I bought a smartphone and I would take these nice selfies.
Yes.
And I would tag them, I would tag these Nigerian pages to feature me, you know, like maybe Hot Men of Africa.
Hot Men of Africa.
Yeah, but they would never feature. So I noticed,
I'm sorry.
why am I struggling with them? Like I could as well create my own and that's how I created IG Uganda.
Tell us about IG Uganda, because you come from Play Media. Tell us about IG Uganda.
So IG Uganda was to post pictures of cool people.
Cool people.
Yeah, I wanted to post myself.
Hot men of Africa. Yeah. But Brian, I want you to tell us a little bit about IG Uganda, because when you opened this page, was Instagram already a hit in Uganda? What was happening?
Well, I remember among my friends, I was among the first one to have a smartphone. So it wasn't a hit, like I wouldn't see them with it. Mainly, so I would follow people like the Kardashians, those influencers out there in America, and the Nigerians, you know, and I would see how much they were. This was the first Ugandan page to show Ugandan profiles. It grew so fast. And so I started to feel like now I owned something.
Yes.
You know, though people were not understanding it, I would tell them I have 5K people I can easily show. It's me who determines which picture to show these 5K people,
yes.
you know. So if it's a product, I can easily show it to the 5K people. I started to believe in, oh, now I have something I'm contributing to.
Yeah. Talk about how IG Uganda then inspires you to make some money. Like, how do you start to think, I could use this to make some money?
Oh yeah, so I'm running the page, but I'm also helping, I'm doing the small branding work. And then one day I'm visiting my brother at Nana Hostel. He was still at campus. So as I'm going back, I'm planning to use a taxi. He tells me, no need for a taxi, because borders were about 4K, 3K. He's like, no need of a taxi. Use this app called Taxify. It's just 1K. And I was blown away. I'm like, what do you mean 1K from here till the park? So I use the app and I pay 1K. Then as the border, go Chikolocha. How come I'm just paying only 1K to you? Then he tells me, Lukumi, Taxify and pay Kumi. So that's 3K. And the other thing is Nange back at interesting a customer going to take.
Yes.
So I noticed it was a win-win. And then I'm thinking, if I didn't know about it, that means so many people didn't know about it.
Yes.
Now I quickly get into Taxify. I just walk in.
You see an opportunity.
Yeah, and I remember asking for like, who is the manager? And there was this operations guy that I'm so grateful for, called Derek. He's like, talk to me. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, I have this page. He's like, but Brian, we don't need the people. We actually need borders. We have so many people, but we don't have the borders.
Yeah.
So right there, I'm thinking, but I can also get the borders. They're like at the stage out there. So it's like, okay, cool. So how many borders? I make quick math. I'm like, if a border stage has about 100 people, I need only 10 stages. So if it takes me a day to do 100, I need 10 stages. I'm like, okay, let me buy myself 20 more days. I'm like, I can do 1,000 in 30 days.
1,000 borders in 30 days.
Like, you're kidding. Then he laughs. So they go back inside. He's like, okay, come. So he goes to the manager called Julian. This guy wants to onboard 1,000 borders in 1 month. And they laugh it off. But I noticed this was their objective. This is what they were supposed to do. So because it was his role, he asked me, how are you going to do that? I'm like, I tell him about the border strategy. But again, I tell him, on top of that, there are circles. These circles have more than 500 borders. I could get only 2 circles in a month. So I basically show him that the 1K, even in a week, it can be done. So it's like, okay, I like your idea, but I think you're going to first prove. And so come and onboard. Whichever border you get commission. And then we onboarded those guys. Yeah, and in about 2 months, we had almost 1,000 borders. That was the time Taxify grew like this.
Yes.
Yeah, like one of the fastest growing. So we used that, and that's how I saved enough money. Yeah.
Saved enough money to now start the thing we are going to talk about.
Yeah, to start
yes?
Tubayo.
Tubayo. So you're already seeing drive, possibility thinking, it's not coming from nowhere. Like, yeah, we can onboard 1,000 in a week. So you actually did it, and in 2 months you had onboarded these borders, and you had enough savings to help you now start pursuing the dream Tubayo. Where did Tubayo come from? Why? Here you are, you're into branding. There's printing, at least we can see it's from, your parents did it, so there's a background. Yeah. We can see you're just a sort of a hungry person who is open to opportunities. So, okay, yeah, the whole border thing makes sense. You're going to make some money. But Tubayo seems like it's out of the blue. Like, why this travel agency?
Oh yeah, so while posting people on IG Uganda, I noticed the best pictures that were getting the most likes were pictures from like trips.
Yes.
With natural backdrops, the falls, so I noticed there was something about travel, but it wasn't clear. And then one day I visit Nairobi with my mom. She had gone for a conference, and I was staying at the hotel by myself. And during that time, I would wish I knew someone who would take me around Nairobi city to just window shop or show me like the best ice cream places or whatever, But that didn't happen. So I make quick search, and it's just safaris. You can't see anyone. And then I get home sometime. So also while on Instagram with my friend, as we're going through these motivation quotes, I look up the people who say these things. And these are, one of them that inspired me the most was Steve Jobs. I got to learn that he created the iPhone. It just hit me that an individual built this Apple company. And I was so inspired because I used to think these things are like by government or like some institutions from, I don't know. But yeah, so I learned of Steve Jobs' story, and it is so inspiring. And him talking and wanting to get a product that could ease communication, bring the technology to everyone, to over hundreds of millions of people. So that was when I started listening to those numbers. I'm like, well, it's possible to influence 100 million people. So yeah, now I knew I needed to do internet because that's what these guys were doing. Me, I wanted to be around there. But if the opportunity keeps falling around internet, I am there. Yeah, now branding, where I got frustrated, one, they were not compensating well. And the reach was, I needed to serve you as a client, sit with you, design with you. It was just one person per day. And I wanted 100 million people, so that would never happen.
Yeah.
And that's how I got into internet. And then it made sense because I was like, what internet business will I start? It just all made sense because of the travel in Kenya, wanting to do something. I'm like, that means there are so many people who want to travel, but one, they don't know where to find activities to do. And these prices they've been seeing are so high, they just need a place with great pricing. And then they discover them conveniently, make the bookings. So I knew if I create a platform that solves those three challenges, there will be a win for us. And why travel? Also, it later made sense because I started to draw interesting perspectives. I'm like, if the explorers came back then, they started with traveling.
It's true.
So I knew if we start travel, we are going to open up mindsets of people, and development in Africa is going to grow by travel. Because when those guys came to Africa, they came here, so great opportunity. Then they wrote back to their kings and queens of, we've seen opportunity in Africa. Then they all came back, whatever, and then they became rich. So even us, if people left their homes, traveled elsewhere, if you traveled around the country, you will notice, like Pakwach, traveled Pakwach, you will see there is no restaurant. There is an opportunity to just set up a nice restaurant. So we believe if people just are open to travel, there is so much opportunity they will see.
Yes.
Yeah.
So travel. You inspired out of a challenge. You have a challenge, you start thinking we could build something.
Yeah.
Tell us about Tubayo. What do you actually do? Like, give us a very good idea of what, because I downloaded the app today. Oh yeah, I downloaded the app. I was like, how do I not know about this? And I went to your Instagram and I saw prices that are so good. Like when I look at them, I'm like, this is possible, very, very, very affordable, 150,000 a night at a very beautiful house, 200,000, 250,000. We are used to those in dollars, $150, $250. So you're like, it's okay. Because it seems like the travel market in Uganda was being built for the non-Ugandan.
Oh, yeah.
Not for the Ugandan. So then you find that people come in here to travel around our country and we don't, mostly because, partly because of cost.
Yes.
So I was very curious, how is this even happening? The houses look really beautiful, but tell us, me now I have a clue. If you could tell the viewer, the people watching, by the way, guys, remember thank you for sharing the link. I see the numbers have literally doubled. If you could ask, if you want to ask a question, this is a good time. But just tell us a bit more about Tubayo. I know people are downloading the app right now.
Oh, that's great. So Tubayo is a web platform and a mobile application. And so users, you can easily discover things to do around the country, travel around the country easily with this app. So we have two customers on Tubayo. We have those who book these activities, those who discover the unique homes, and then we have those who provide the listings. So we give an opportunity to individuals, creatives. You're good at cooking. You could diversify your income streams and create a cooking class on Tubayo.
Wow.
It could be something like I do pancakes. So you can book and learn how to
Not
bake.
ice cream?
No, pancakes. Yeah, so you can put that on Tubayo. And if you have like an extra room at home, or you have boys' quarters, they're not occupied, put that on Tubayo. There are people who are looking for stays, unique and nice, simple stays. Yeah. And we saw this as a great opportunity because all the hotels are almost concentrated here in Kampala.
Yes.
And if you go out here, there are no places to stay at. And that's one of the reasons why we're not traveling. So for so many working people who have built homes back in the villages, this is an opportunity for you to monetize that. Yeah.
So tell us what happens tell us what has happened in Tubayo. How did it even start? Let's start there. How did it start? Like, did you start and you created an app that day and you had hundreds of customers going out that week? How did it begin?
Oh yeah, so 2019 is when we launched the website. It was just a beautiful website. We expected customers because I thought, these are the main challenges. People don't know where to find things. The prices have been high and in dollars, but now we've got them great pricing and the convenience of booking. So we thought customers would come in, but they didn't come in until April. And in April, it was up to us to first create our own products because we had reached out to tour operators, tour agents to use the platform. And then most of them were asking, what's your experience like? They were not joining. And I noticed, why am I stressing with these people? Let's create these products ourselves.
Yes.
So with my Instagram background, I basically looked at the most beautiful pictures. And one of the places was Wild Waters. People didn't know about it. So we designed a Wild Waters day trip. Visit the Wild Waters, take beautiful pictures, get back in the evening. Very simple trip, affordable, we pulled it up, and that's how we started getting our customers. But that happened after trying 3 times.
Tell us about the first 2 tries.
Yeah, so the first one, I put it up on Instagram, and I was shocked no one booked. Yeah. So somehow it disappeared. Then next week, I'm like, let me try it again. I put it up again, and this time I get 2 people to book. So these people book, I'm excited. I'm like, okay, this is going to happen. And it gets close to the day, guys haven't paid in. And then the trip couldn't happen. So I call up those who had booked. I'm like, something happened. There's other guys. I'm sorry, I lied. I tell them how the trip has been fully booked by a group who just came and took it all up. They made the payment, and I couldn't tell them to reduce their number less by 2 so that you guys can go. So they're like, what? Okay, these trips are really nice. How about next week? Do you have a trip next week? I'm like, yes, we'll have another one as well. So they're like, okay, keep the money. We'll do next week. And I'm like, no, you're not making me market again because it is so hard. But so that also helped me fit into the shoes of these tour companies.
Yeah.
They really try so hard to market, and they spend so much money. So if our platform takes that from you and you just focus on the product, I think it's a win for them.
It is.
So yeah, now the 3rd week now, I have those 2 people who paid from last week, and God does wonders. The miracle just happened. Monday after I put up the poster like this, a group calls of, hey, we've seen this Wild Waters trip and we would love to be part of it. And they fill it up. And I remember after putting it up, after a small while, I pull up another poster with fully booked. And now I started to feel confident. I have my guys, even guys are now confident in like the platform. And I was so happy to give them this experience. And that's how we picked up from there. We started to do over 100 people per week.
Wow.
Yeah, until when we put up a campaign to fill up Uganda Airlines, which was also successful. So from Uganda Airlines, we kept on with the numbers. Yeah, we got noticed and joined an accelerator program with the Innovation Village.
Yes.
And MasterCard, and those helped finance our developments. And it came in timely. For me, I still think that was the hand of God. Because we are in a very low margin business. And the reason why we're doing weekly trips was to keep getting that money every week.
Yes.
Yeah. And now COVID comes through, but also the accelerator is starting. Yeah, and now God just gives us money of get this money, keep developing. So for us, we just kept developing even throughout COVID. And that's how we got to the app.
Yes, you got to the app. Wow, guys. It's a story of continuous growth, drive. I have like 3 more questions for you. First of all, how many people right now, how many users do you have on the app? Just to give us a clue.
There are over 10,000 using both the web and the mobile app. And
Wow.
this is within 8 months.
This is within 8 months of operation. You see? So that's really powerful. Secondly, I loved what you said about what made you join Worship Harvest. Just tell us a little bit.
Well, so I remember, I stayed in Tinder now, but I was staying in Alia before. And because I work a lot, I normally want to just look for a group where I can, not that I stopped going to church, but like my faith needed where to belong. I had built my own faith, and I needed people who had the same like energy levels, like manifesting and all. And I was home and I see a business garage flyer. I'm like, oh, it would be interesting to talk business in church. Then I come through, and the pastor then was preaching how you guys should start dreaming trillions of dollars. I'm like, what? That is what we've been doing at Tubayo, like.
Yeah, we want to go to Mars.
Like the hackers don't, but like our passwords are in trillions.
Hackers.
Yeah, our passwords have trillions of dollars because we believe that, and we had been doing it way before I came here. So coming here and hearing that message about trillions of dollars, I'm like, oh, there's crazy people who think it's possible for Ugandan to have that much impact and create as much value for the world.
Wow.
So I was really aligned with Worship Harvest, and since then I've been coming through.
Of course, that's Pastor Noah Balesan.
Yes,
no one
Pastor
else
Noah
says such crazy things, so we thank God for him. But now talk to us, Brian, about the future. What do you see for Tubayo? What do you see as the possible future that you envision in your heart, that you just excites you when you think about what could be?
I think Tubayo, the future, oh my God. One, we're going to Mars. We are definitely going to Mars.
Yes.
And we're going to be the #1 global travel marketplace.
Wow.
Providing earning opportunity to people.
Wow.
And also enabling people to travel easily. And mainly, above all, we're going to inspire love and work in so many people.
Talk about that.
Yeah.
Those are your core values.
Those
love
are
and
our
work.
values. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
I think love is just a strategy. Love, like they've already said, love wins. Yeah. So like if we use this in our company, we'll always win, and we've seen it. So we want to love on people, love the work we do, and love can only be showed out of great work. So we believe in great work. We appreciate great work, and we aspire to keep doing greater work. Yeah.
Wow. Lastly, numbers. How many people are you reaching? In how often? How many people are you now employing? I know that it's a platform, so you probably don't have too much office staff, but how many people are you actually employing? And how many sort of companies or hotels, or if are you working with? Because you're working with so many.
Yeah, I'll give you an interesting one. We have over 1,000 bed spaces. This is more than like the top 3 hotels. And yet we don't even own a hotel. So it's very interesting what the power of internet can give you. If it takes a big hotel developer 2 years to develop it, it will take us like 30 minutes to have even much more capacity than they do. But anyhow, regarding numbers, the team, also still I got that principle here. There's a time I think Pastor Mosa was on preaching about how Jacob was blessed because of the many sons,
yes.
The numbers. So ever since then it just made sense of rely on the team. God is going to bless you with them. And there's like great people. We are 8 core people.
Wow. And
over 40 other people working with us.
Wow.
We just hope we get the capacity to get them full time. But they're working with us all the time. They're called Defense Forces.
Defense Forces.
The Tubayo Defense Forces.
The Tubayo Defense Forces. Battleship.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're on a mission.
Brian, such an inspiring story, and I think one that is really talking about the time we are living in, because God has given us the power of the internet right now. It connects you to possibilities, it cuts costs and increases capacity and possibility and how far we can reach. It's efficient, and you've tapped into it. And I truly believe that you're going to be the #1 travel. Yes, you are going to be global travel market in the world, because also Uganda, there's something about us, and I think this is the time to tap into opportunity and increase. So we are absolutely proud of you, and those people who refused to tag you among the hot men of Africa, we send them greetings. They will regret it. But please help me welcome Mr. Chris Kawesa, our leader here at Business Garage, as he wraps this thing up.
Wow. Thank you, Pastor Biffy. I can't stop laughing. Brad, first of all, I don't know, I think I know how old you are, but I don't think you're about 25.
I'm 27.
You're 27.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Wow.
This young man here is doing great things at 27, and this is the age to succeed.
This is it.
And I think you're inspiring very many young people out there. The things you're doing. This is what I see. You're a man of action. You're a man of action. You see something, you do it. You don't waste your time.
Yeah.
The Taxify story. The Wild Waters story. Is there something you want to tell us?
No, it's something I normally reflect on whenever someone tells me they are looking for a job. I'm like, just get in there. Yeah, get in there, tell them what you want to do. Yeah, you can get whatever you want.
Yes. You're a man of action. Yeah? I like the fact that you copy. One of the things you're learning is copy.
Yeah.
There's no need to reinvent some things. You copy, told us.
It's benchmarking.
Benchmarking. Yeah. You can call it
Okay, it's a
benchmarking.
nicer word. I'm going to be using that. Yeah, benchmarking.
You went to see, you told me before, you see what companies are doing, great companies, and then you copy and do the same, right? I've said you're a problem solver, then you're a big dreamer, the Mars story, and all these other stories. You meet obstacles, and you find your feet and solve them.
Yeah.
Now, when you're in Budo, in Essex, and someone told you you would be a tour operator, would you believe it? Is it something you think about?
Budo, no.
No. You would rubbish it off.
Not really.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was going to be, honestly.
Yeah. But I don't think it was one of those things that you had in line to do.
I didn't even think about
You
it. I was
didn't
only
come-
thinking about economics and art.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is an artist. So and I'm building to something that I want you to share. Okay. This is an artist who is now in the tour business. Yeah. We've seen today that the things we are doing, we must be very resourceful, because the thing you're doing, the thing you're studying might not be the thing you're doing. You will do. I saw an image recently on the internet where they're talking about hospitals. The future of hospitals, you'll find technicians, data analysts, AI specialists. You'll probably find fewer doctors because of where we are going, because of technology. And this leads us to the question. The thing is, the question I want to ask you, you have used the internet, the power of the internet and influence, because people use different things. People use systems, others use passion to divert from what they studied or what they thought they would do to other businesses. So you've used the power of influence, the power of the internet to influence people, and that's what you've really done. You've put aside everything else that you did in school and just focused on one thing, the internet and the power of influence. And today's where all businesses are going, like it or not. Just tell us how can
That's
a
the
business...
future.
That's the future. How do our businesses, whatever business you're in, how do you use the power of the internet to access markets and different customers?
Oh yeah, so how we also see the future in the internet is we ask, just, I don't know, depending on the customers you have, ask 3 questions. What's the future going to be about regarding price? You know, is the customer going to pay a lower price in the future? That's a definite yes. Is the customer going to need more convenience in the future? That's a definite yes. And so all this then draw back to your operations, you know? So how do you then enable that? And for me, I would say the internet enables it. Because with the internet, you reduce on your team and create more opportunity for others. And with the internet, it's easy to serve more customers, even go global. You know, before as a small business, you're serving people around you, your family, your community. But with the internet, there's no boundaries. You'll go to Kenya, you know, you'll start shipping and stuff. Yeah, so I think they should get online. Yeah.
Every business should be online. You said price, convenience, and
customers, like the market.
And the market.
Yeah.
So we need to focus on these things in order to leverage the internet.
Yeah.
Now, my final question. You showed me something earlier that you're building for maybe tour operators, a system, because I wanted to ask you about systems, but I realized you've talked to me about it. Share that with us, where the thing you believe is going to be a platform for all tour operators in the future.
Oh yeah, so we think the offices of in the future are going to be online. And so for our hosts, who are the guides, the tour operators, the agents, and the homeowners, we have a super app, so we have a host dashboard within the app. You can become a host, and then you have your dashboard. So this dashboard mainly caters for two things which I think are very important to any business owner. One is your customers. You want to know your customers at all times and track them very well. And then two is your transactions. You know, you don't want to just be receiving money on mobile money here, then the next day you're receiving cash, then you've forgotten to input it because of how, you know, daily activities are. But we are giving you a platform that's managing all of that, your customers, your transactions, and also your product. So you can create a product on the platform. So it's basically a super app, super dashboard for you. Create your product, sit at your home, and all you do, just focus on your product. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to seek out for brand, because I think the thing I've seen, I think you can leverage it. Any business can use it, right? So kindly seek out for brand. For us who are here, we're going to the business lounge and we're going to chat with him. He's going to show us what it is. But most of all, I want to encourage you, the month of May, what Pastor Bithri was saying, just invite any business person you know, whether big or small, because what we are going to learn is amazing, amazing tools, systems, and many things concerning businesses and how we can do super business and grow our businesses to do amazing things. We're going to hear that from Apostle Mose in the whole month of May. Over to you, Pastor Bithri.
Wow. Business Garage. Those of you in the house, help me appreciate Brian Amanya. Brian is very inspiring. I also like that you practice what you've heard. You kept referring to things you had at Business Garage and you actually started to implement them. Those of you watching today, I hope that you've been inspired, you've been challenged, and that you're going to do something with something you've learned today. Personally, I have some things that have been brewing in my mind, and I'm going to enjoy a good conversation with the people at the Business Lounge. Now, you can join us at the Business Lounge physically here at Worship Harvest Nalia. We hang out, we have a snack, some coffee at the end, chocolate, tea, and we just have exchange business cards, and you also get to interact with the guest. I'm sure you'd have loved to be here today, but maybe next time. Yes, we get to interact with the guests. So join us physically for Business Garage, 7:30 a.m. here at Worship Harvest Nalia. Before we end today's Garage, we would like to help you make the greatest connection, the one who is bigger than the internet, and that's Jesus Christ. I'd like to give you an opportunity today if you've never made Jesus Lord of your life. He's the source of creativity. He's the source of sustenance. He's the source of everything that you want. And he wants to be your friend. He wants to be your savior. He wants to hold your hand through life and help you make sense of life and give you real purpose. And it's very simple. You just need to believe in your heart that Jesus has forgiven all your sins through his sacrifice on the cross, and that he rose again for your glorification. And you just confess it with your mouth, as simple as that, and just like that, you come into, eternal relationship with him. So I'd like to pray with you. If you're there today, just wherever you are, you can put your hand up, just by yourself, even if you're alone or you're somewhere with friends, and pray this simple prayer after me. Say, Lord Jesus, thank you for loving me. I confess with my mouth, and I believe that you've forgiven all my sins. Today, I am born again. Take my life and do something significant with it. In Jesus' name, Amen. Amen.
Video, don't forget to share your comments below and subscribe to our channel for more exciting videos coming up soon.